There's a version of this drive you do on autopilot. You've seen the highway, you know where it goes. But every now and then, something pulls you off the road. Something that has no right to still be standing. And yet, there it is. You're going to see a dead tree today, and I want you to pay attention to it. It stands on a low, stony ridge, just off Highway 3, at the eastern gate of the Crowsnest Pass. No leaves, no needles. Just a tangible, pale, wind-twisted branches reaching into open sky. At first glance, it looks like something that should have been cleared away a long time ago. This is a limber pine, named after the ghost town of BURMIS that once stood beside it. It was between 600 and 750 years old when it finally died, sometime in the late 1970s. 600 years. It was already ancient when the first European maps of this continent were being drawn. It outlasted kingdoms, outlasted plagues, outlasted every person who ever looked up at it and thought, that tree will be here long after I'm gone. And they were right. And then one day, it wasn't. But here's the part that stays with me, and the reason why I visit it. When it died, nobody removed it. When it fell, knocked over by a storm in 1998, the community raised it back up. They put these steel rods in the trunk, these braces and brackets. They built a new road around it rather than through it. In 2004, someone cut off its main branches, and you can see the locals repaired it. Think about that for a moment. This tree has been dead for nearly 50 years, and people keep choosing to keep it standing. I think we instinctively understand something about this tree that's hard to put into words. It isn't inspiring because it lived a long life. Lots of things live long lives. It's inspiring because of what life looks like. Every twist in the branches, every knot, every lean, every scar is a record of a storm it refused to fall to. The wind didn't break it, the wind made it. And I wonder how much of that is true for us too. The things that have tried to knock us down, the losses, the failures, the seasons when everything dried up. Maybe they weren't interruptions to the story. Maybe they were the story, being shaped slowly into something that can stand. It fell once. They put it back up. Let's go see what else the pass refused to let disappear.
This is the mine I was most proud of. Oh, I'd owned mines on the prairies before I came here, but I'd pinned my hopes on this one. It was the biggest Canadian mine in the pass. Such fine coal. We sold to Spokane. We're looking to sell as far away as the Balkans. And all those new towns springing up on the prairies, it seemed the demand would never stop. For a while, my coal cars were rattling steadily out of the mine, full to the brim. over 100 men on a shift. And right next to the main line of the CPR, those boxcars were lined up 30 deep. I thought I had my fortune made. But then, the war in Europe took some of our market away. The strikes? I had to hire those non-union men. There was a lot of bad feeling over that. By the time we'd sorted that one out, there was hardly a market for coal. We tried to keep it running, but finally I had no choice. I had to shut down and leave.
In 1907, a man named Charles LEITCH stood on this ground and believed he was about to build something extraordinary. This was going to be the most advanced coal operation of all in Crowsnest Pass, Canadian-owned, Canadian-built. The only mine in the entire pass not controlled by American or British money. He wasn't wrong about the ambition. He may have been wrong about almost everything else. The coal here turned out to be the wrong kind, too poor in quality to produce the coke needed for smelting, which was the whole point. Of the 101 coke ovens built on this site, only a handful were ever used. Then came a general strike in 1911. Then the First World War. By 1916, the debt had swallowed everything. The company failed, and the workers left. The town of Passburg, built just up the road to house the families, was dismantled building by building, moved to Bellevue. Within a decade, it was as if none at all happened. And yet, here are the walls. 100 years of weather, and they're still standing. The powerhouse, the manager's house, the coke ovens. Stone chosen well, set with intention, outlasting the purpose it was built for. There's something quietly devastating about that. All that hope, all that capital, all those families who packed up their lives and moved to the edge of the mountains for a job that was gone in 9 years. I keep coming back to a question standing here. What's the difference between the BURMIS tree and these ruins? Both were shaped by forces they couldn't control. Both outlasted the world that surrounded them. Both are still standing, more or less. But one of them feels like resilience, and one of them feels like a warning. Maybe the difference is this. The tree never overreached. It grew slowly, in the conditions it was given, bending when it had to, holding when it could. The mine was built on a projection, on what someone hoped the coal would be, rather than what it actually was. I don't say that to judge Charles LEITCH. Ambition is how anything gets built. And the people who worked here, the miners, their families, the ones who moved here from across Canada and Europe for a chance at something, they deserve better than 9 years and a notice on the door. But standing in the ruins of something that was built with absolute certainty and failed anyway, there's a kind of humility that settles in. Plans change, markets shift, the mountain doesn't care. What you can control is the quality of what you build and what you choose to leave behind. The Crowsnest River has been running here longer than anyone reading this has been alive, longer than mine, longer than that tree, even at 700 years. It doesn't know about ambition or failure. It doesn't know about the community that has chose to raise a dead tree back up, or the company that built 101 ovens and only used 6. It just keeps moving. I believe this is why I keep doing these drives. Not to collect information, not to arrive somewhere impressive and check it off a list, but for moments like this one, where the noise gets quiet enough that you can actually hear yourself think. We spend so much of our lives optimizing, planning the next thing, recovering from the last thing. And somewhere in the middle of all of that movement, we forget to just stand in a place for a while. The tree stood for 700 years. The walls have stood for over a century. The river has been here since the glaciers retreated. And me? I'm here for an afternoon, which is exactly enough. 3 stops, one afternoon: the tree, the ruins, the falls. You don't have to go far to find something worth thinking about. You just have to be willing to slow down long enough to see it. Because the quietest roads teach the loudest lessons.